Hello, everybody, and welcome to News and Views for February the 20th, 2025. Quick reminder before we get going that Winterfest, which was supposed to happen last weekend on a long weekend, was rescheduled to this Sunday, the 23rd. This will take place at the Flats, starting at 1:30 with, I believe they call it Polar Bear Yoga, and going on until the fireworks in the evening. And we are very glad that they rescheduled because the forecast for last week was minus 36. The forecast for this weekend is going to be a balmy +3. So please do get out there and enjoy the weather and enjoy our Winterfest. As well, there is a Titans game this Saturday. I'm bringing this to your attention because it is the annual Hockey Fights Cancer game. So if you're only going to go to one game this season, maybe make it this one. A portion of the 50-50 is going to Neepawa Cancer Care at that game. So that is this Saturday at the Yellowhead at 7:30. So on the show today, we were out at Arts Forward for the art opening and meet and greet with artist Shannon Desjardins, who has her latest show in the gallery right now. So we got to go there, talk to the artists, see the show. And when Arts Forward holds these openings, they often do a fundraiser for the community. So we talk about that a little bit as well. Then we have a clip of an upcoming interview on updates from the local chapter of Habitat for Humanity. This just formed last year, have kind of hit the ground running in the community. So we hear where they're at with their first build and about some upcoming fundraisers. So we have information on those fundraisers here on the show today. That full program will be elsewhere in the schedule coming up. And finally, we were invited to join the Neepawa Garden Club. They had a guest speaker come in with a presentation on Zone 8 gardening. Lots to learn there, and certainly I know we're into February right now, but spring is right around the corner. So there's lots of great tips coming from the Neepawa Garden Club. If you have anything coming up or anything you'd like us to know about, or any footage that you'd like us to send us to show on our program here, please do get in touch with us. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
We're here at Arts Forward with Shannon Desjardins for her exhibit this month. So, can you tell us something about this exhibit, Shannon?
Okay, the name of the exhibit is Joie de Vivre, which is a French expression that means joy of life. And so the reason I picked that title is because all of the paintings in the exhibit were painted on location from life, and I really enjoyed it. But also sharing it can spark maybe joy in others for experiencing what attracted me to paint it in the first place.
Okay. So what materials do you use?
I'm an oil painter, so my medium is oil on canvas. Yeah.
Okay. And then you mentioned that it's live, so you find a specific location or a view that you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive around until I see something that I'm like, oh, okay. It's usually about the light is what attracts me to paint something, and then I'll sit down, and I can usually only go about an hour and a half, and then I'm trying to stretch that amount of time, but it's like I can't make good choices after after an hour and a half.
Okay.
So if I need to go back again, I'll go back on a similar day with this similar, like if it's sunny, I'll go back on a sunny day, or if it's foggy, I'll try to find another foggy day, but at the same time of day. So because the shadows need to be the same. So.
How long have you been painting?
I started late. I started in my 40s, and so I've been painting about 20 years now.
Okay, 20 years, wow. And before that, what was your profession?
Well, I've done a lot of things. I've worked at Safeway.
Oh, different.
At Safeway for quite a few years, and now I drive for High Life. Yeah.
And what inspired you to do paintings or?
I just tried it one day and I
Okay.
was like, oh, this is fun.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And then I
Yeah.
had to practice a lot
A
because
lot.
I wasn't good.
Did you just during your first time that you were doing it, did you use also oil painting, or you try different
No,
kinds of?
I was just drawing with a pencil at the start.
Oh, okay.
So I did that probably for a year, and then I started trying out watercolor for a few years. Then I went to acrylic, but I think I found what I enjoy the most with painting with oils. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So where do you get your like materials? Are there like for beginners? Are there where
You know
where
what?
can you
I get
find?
materials all over the place. I go to yard sales. Then I have some friends who are trying to get rid of excess art supplies, and I'm also always like ready to give away.
You have lots
That's
already.
one thing that happens. You start accumulating lots of materials.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do like good brushes though. They do make a difference, and so I've started to be a little more discerning about what brushes I use.
So this is like just a hobby for you. Painting
Yes.
is just like a hobby for you,
Yeah.
like a therapy or
Yeah,
something
I just
that.
enjoy it. I do believe in having a teacher though. I've had a mentor for the last 6 years. Well, actually, I've always had someone teaching, like learning from someone, but I've had a mentor for the last 6 years, and that's been invaluable. And now he's teaching me how to mentor others.
Oh, okay. So you also do some art lessons here at
Yeah.
Arts Forward?
Mentoring,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Usually it's one-on-one that I do. Yeah.
Okay. Also, when any young person who would like to,
Oh yes.
they can approach you or Arts Forward. Who would?
Either one. And
Oh, okay. We didn't know that.
I'll get them.
Okay. Oh, really?
I'll get the message.
Oh, that's good.
No, I'm happy to share everything I do.
Everything you know. Okay, and what we know about this exhibit also is that this is also a fundraiser for the major production.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a fundraiser for the high school drama club. They've got a lot of extra expenses to do with licensing so that they can perform the plays that they pick. And so anyone who makes a donation towards them is eligible to put their name in the draw box with the painting that they would like. And so whichever painting they choose is the one, if their name is drawn, that they could win.
Okay, so it's just for today.
I know it's till the end of the exhibit.
Okay, so it will
the
be
end of February.
Oh.
And then we'll draw at that point.
Okay, like the end of February, you will have a draw for.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else that you would like to share or message to any? Yeah, thank you so much, Shannon.
Okay, thank you. distort. And so they were all done at least 85%. Some of them were done 100% from right on location. And sometimes I had to go back more than once to finish it, because it seems that I can only paint for about an hour and a half, and then I start making bad choices. So it's like, that's my limit. So, but then when you go back, you have to pick the same type of lighting, the same time of day. Anyway, so the second reason I called the exhibit Joie de Vivre is because art is communication, and so I hope that you also can experience the joy of what I saw. And then I feel like, okay, it's successful. What I tried to do, you get it. But the thing that's kind of different about artwork is it can speak to different people in different ways, in ways that words never could. Because you may look at the reflection of the water on and think, that reminds me of fishing with my grandpa, the water lit up like that the same day. So that's something that artwork can do that a conversation between us could never. So, yeah, I hope that you can experience a little of the reason why I painted it in the first place. It's a real gift, really, that we can communicate without words. Even music. Music can hit us in the same way, and no words are required. Even a good meal can do that. Can take us back to Grandma's kitchen, or it can transport us and we think, wow, that's the perfect bite. So, and it's all around us. It could be sculpture, it could be architecture, sometimes gardens, sunlight on a cobweb. But we just have to be present and notice it. And then that adds to our joy of life too, doesn't it? So anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Chat. I'm your host for today, Rain Pryor. With me is my guest, Don Walmsley, who is on the steering committee for our local chapter of Habitat for Humanity. This chapter just was formed last year, and we're here to talk about, what's going on, some updates from the group.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be on this side as opposed to that side. I'll talk a bit about donations. Mm-hmm. There's donations. Certainly, we're looking for donations. We're going to be, at some point in the near future, we're going to be having a public meeting where we're going to encourage people to come so we can talk about the volunteer, what it means to be a volunteer, what kinds of volunteers we're looking for. And it can be very simply an hour here, 2 hours there. Some may be able to volunteer or want to volunteer other periods of time. Yeah. We want to identify what we need volunteers for, because people who are enthusiastic to volunteer, it's really helpful, and you keep their attention if you can tell them, we really need this. Yeah. And it can be back scene, it can be handing out flyers, it can be anything. The definition of volunteerism is really quite broad, so it means it allows for a lot of different. You can be stuck at home for whatever reason and still have some ability to volunteer.
So you don't need to have a building skill set to be able to volunteer.
Oh, no. In fact, there's so many others around support things that are needed that really the building part is not not everybody has to get out with a tool belt and a hammer and
Yeah.
nails.
I think that's what
and
people
measuring.
imagine when they're volunteering with
I
Habitat.
do, but no,
there's so much else to volunteer for.
Totally. I mean, there's stuff that people can do for us on the internet. There's a whole variety. So we're putting together a sort of a package in terms of what it is, and with the public meeting, we'll be encouraging people to come out, find more information, and then sign up. And all volunteers, doesn't matter who they are, that goes towards that 500-hour volunteer commitment that's part of the Habitat package for every Habitat build.
Right.
So that's really exciting.
And that just ensures the community involvement.
That just ensures the community involvement. And so we're really pleased with what's going on. There's been tremendous sort of background work being done. Lots of other organizations, companies, manufacturing, whatever, are poised and just waiting for the right time to come in. They need some further information to consider. There's been a lot of effort amongst a number of people just on the steering committee, let alone friends of friends of friends.
Right.
Now we're starting to look at branching out those committees. So one of the volunteer things will be maybe helping coordinate volunteer or taking care of a certain section or a particular event. So it can be event oriented, all that kind of thing. Speaking of events, I've got a couple of things that I'm going to mention. I'll be flagrantly obvious about these things. Tomorrow, Legion often does these Legion suppers, and anybody who's ever been to a Legion supper knows that you're getting certainly the value of the food for the money. They're always excellent. Well, the Legion supper tomorrow, the 21st on Friday, that's going to be, proceeds are going towards Habitat.
Okay.
So we've been, providing
try
some
to get
things.
the word out in time for that.
Trying to get the word out in time. It's great. So if you haven't bought your ticket, please contact Legion, buy your tickets, because it's buy ticket only.
Yeah.
And always a good meal. You don't have to worry about that. And something kind of new and exciting. And next Friday, so here we go. It's going to be a busy month in February. We are having a community live bingo. It's going to be held at the Neepawa Curling Club at 450 5th Street. I actually got that. It's going to start at 7:30 p.m. If you are a bingo player, and nowadays you have to travel very far to get to be able to go and sit in a chair and play live bingo, well, you're going to have an opportunity here.
Yep.
And so food and alcohol will be available there for purchase. It will be looking at 5 games. 10% of card sales is the price for each of these games. So 25% of the win. $10 tickets sold at the door, rush seating. And we've timed it so we meat draw can happen and people can get that done. You know what it's like in a local community.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to
It's the same crowd. You got to wait for meat draw.
You got to play to the crowd as well. I mean, that's a very, very well attended event.
Yeah.
And so should it. So I'm going to share this with you if you'd like to in some sort of way. So bingo night next Friday, the 28th February, and it's really exciting. And of course, we're benefiting from the experience from the bingo that happens here at NACTV, and we're using the mobile bingo blower. I always chuckle when I say that. So it's going to be fun. Going to be a lot of fun, and all sorts of other things will be there, and so it's good.
That'll be an excellent thing. We know all about the mobile bingo blower. It's right in the other room right now.
Right in the other room, yes. So check that out.
And certainly you're talking to a bingo audience here.
Yeah, no
kidding. Certainly have some loyal bingo players. We encourage them all to kind of get out and support this cause as well.
Well, I think it's great. It's a great opportunity, and to be able to use a local resource as well. Again, this is why it's so neat, because it's all community. We're doing it from within, and everybody's sort of participating in some way or another. And that's really, you can't really ask for more than that. And this is our very first build, so we're learning a lot as we go along, which means that when it comes time, once we finish this, and there's a second build, whether it's here in Neepawa or it's a build somewhere else, we've now got our template. We now have been through the ropes. We understand what some of the hiccups are, what we need to do, what timelines are, and we've got sort of that whole baseline figured out.
So what sort of is the timeline now going into this first build?
Well, we want to make sure that we do major kinds of fundraising or awareness events, certainly before the end of April, because we live in an agricultural community.
Yeah.
We know that our agricultural people, our farmers and our support organizations are going to be gearing up, ready to hit that land as soon as they can. And once they do that, we realize that's going to take up their time. So what we're hoping is we get to the point by that time that we can optimistically, we really want to start building this summer.
So you want to break ground.
We want to do that if we can. I mean, maybe that's over. Yeah, but that's our goal. If we can get in the ground, I know that John Lavich, who's our chair, and really the sort of prime mover here that initiated all of this. I know his goal is to get in that ground as soon as he can get in that ground, and that's great. I mean, it's just exciting.
Okay, I should do it really quickly. This is Cowichan Valley, as I was saying. This is Mount below here, and this is looking over. My husband, my farm, my 2 acres are over there. And this is looking from the opposite side, looking into the valley. And so this is sort of the city of Duncan. And the valley goes down, you see that hollow down there, the valley goes all the way. This is looking again, that's my little dog Sadie, and this looks over the flat and it's quite a marine bird place. It's opening up towards, you can see Lake or Cowichan Bay right there, a small village. And next slide, it goes, and that's where you would look to see Victoria. So we're that distance sort of away. Okay, welcome to 3908. Yeah. And in 2009, we built this house, my son kind of did it. And we put up a fence right away because there's these herds of elk. Which elk though? I don't know. Okay. It doesn't matter. Elk. And the most I'd seen on the field next door was 37. Just over there. So this is when we excavated the house, for the house, I got the excavator there was a wet low spot on the bottom, so I got him to dig a few pond holes. Okay. And started greening itself, but you can see this is where the water would come right across the neighbor's field through here and sit until it's the backyard. The backyard. Okay, so 7-8 years later, it started to take a bit of a garden look on it, and you can see the ponds. Now, this is when my husband was building the ponds. We had some grandkids of his there, and the dogs were loving it. And this is what my husband does when he helps me. He does a dig or two, and then he goes and has a nap while I do it. This is a little stockinger pond, and that's a koi we just got. This is my husband trying to clean up our big pond there one year without safety. He got himself hanging off the edge. And you know, when he started, he didn't even put the safety thing on. I yelled at him, we fought, so he finally put it up. But you know what, he could have fallen right over and crushed himself. So here's a few more koi. There. And a pond lily.
And you don't have to lift your water lilies in winter.
I don't know. And I love those, but you know.
Calla seeds will stay in the ground, don't they?
Yeah, calla stay in the ground. This is a water calla. But what happens though, if you build it, they come. I love that line. This is my dog, yeah. And so the bullfrogs came. And she brought that to the house.
Who
who are not desirable.
No, they're mean.
Oh.
I actually saw a bullfrog grab a fledgling robin and drown it.
Oh.
I didn't know what was going on, and then I went later and there's a fledgling. And also, the heron come to a pond. Of course, this is still a little bit protected with the net there, but isn't that beautiful?
When are we doing the road trip?
Yeah. Do come, please. So, and even in winter, when it freezes over, the heron are still looking for the fish. Now they're good. They only eat the fish this size, right? Not those big koi. So I had the big koi. We also have, this is like, it's not a resident, but it comes every year. The mallard and the spouse. But they also come in 3.
Do they nest?
Not there. But Mama Mallard comes and takes a break from her job. She just goes there sometime and she just sits on a bale we had there to try. And this is a quail. And then these arrived. The eagles arrived, building a nest on the next slide. There you see the little ones right across the other side of our neighbor's yard. And then the koi disappeared. There are now no fish in the pond because I'm not going to feed the eagles. Yeah, so this is our Anna. These Anna hummingbirds, they stay all year. We have a pair that do. They have 2 or 3. Okay, so this is on the other side of the yard, and this is a spring shot where some of the earliest are those purple. And this is in 2013 because when I retired from teaching, I got gift cards for the nursery, local nursery, and I bought 2 of those. This is in fall when there's still the framework of the Lebanese cedar, but fall in the middle. Okay, now I'm rhododendron. Sorry, put up with me for this. The yellow and the blue, those are both rhododendrons, Blue Baron and Patty B. Carry on, we don't need too many of these. Grace, and she's just losing Grace Seabrook. Yeah, carry on, just go through these. Oh, this is a fragrant one.
She
though.
thinks rhodos
Go
are
right
boring to us because we don't grow.
Yeah, they are. And this is a dogwood. Whoops, that one. There. The red Cherokee Chief, red flowering, pink flowering dogwood. Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at the color of the buds there too.
Yeah. And yeah, this is a fragrant one. And you know what? You can't propagate it. It's so hard to propagate. You could plant 30 cuttings and you'd be lucky if you get 2 maybe. And I could probably sell 50 of them if I could get them going, propagating. So fragrant, beautiful. This is on the left side of the house, looking toward the back. Augustinii, I love blue. You're going to see that I love blue. Keep going. Close up. It's still sustaining colors. This is Fantastica, and you can see why someone might have named it that, I think. Go on. When it little ages a bit, it fades a bit. This is a nice rhododendron because of its bud and flower mix, where it has the reds and the peaches and so on. At the back then, this is one of those unexpected things that I really like, because I was at the Rhodo and I put 1 or 2 columbine in, and it was the white, not periwinkle, whatever those kinds are, and no other columbine nearby, so what happened, the white just spread. It was beautiful. But these are the blue poppy. Right here. Okay, this is another type of rhododendron that has more lax and open troughs. That's a close-up. I'll talk about the other thing about it. Carry on. Oranges and yellows were what hybridizers were trying to get because there weren't many. Now this is a very small, beautiful little plant. You can see the bud. The leaves are small, and then when it opens, it smothers the plant.